Congressman Rangel, how are you?
Well, pretty good, pretty darn good.
Congressman, talk a little bit about this super PAC or PAC that's supporting your opponent. I saw the email that you sent out, actually to raise money to prepare yourself for this, to defend yourself against the possible attacks that may come from the super PAC. We know that Joe Ricketts, the New York Times, wrote an interesting piece about his trying to slander President Obama, basically a metrosexual, Abe Lincoln, et cetera, et cetera. Respond to that, Congressman.
Well, a lot of people don't know, but because of a recent Supreme Court decisions, people are allowed to put money into super political actions committee and not have it accounted for. And they did it mainly to get President Obama believing that hundreds of thousands of dollars, indeed millions of dollars, would be enough to defeat him. Well, they've also did it against the Congress. And I wasn't too surprised to find out that as soon as Obama was sworn in, a group of people led by Newt Gingrich and the Senate Minority Leader McConnell decided that the way to beat him in the next election was to beat him with money and to degrade his and to attack his character. I was a little surprised 4 years ago to see my name on the list along with Secretary Treasurer Geithner when he was attacked, and of course I was successfully attacked. And now they're coming back with this money. They don't know my opponent, they don't know what he stands for, but they know the target. And so there'll be millions of dollars available. I was surprised to hear my opponent say that he's willing to accept it, but that was in the newspapers, and I hope that account is wrong, because the truth of the matter is money should not dictate who represents our people in the United States Congress.
Congressman, talk a little bit about your back is better. You just said that. Talk about getting out there on the ground to the new areas that were drawn into your district. Talk about how you're doing so and reaching out to the new constituents.
Well, it's been easier than people might imagine. Just yesterday, I was at the Bronx Day Parade, which was in front of my former high school, DeWitt Clinton. But better than that, in front of the Tracy Houses, which, oh my God, thousands of people live there and in the surrounding area. And I met so many people that were fraternal brothers, veterans, people that I've known from Harlem. And so Harlem and the Bronx are just so closely united. We only separated by a bridge. Even when I got the empowerment zones, when the whole district was in Manhattan, we made certain that a part of it went to the Bronx. So it's going to be exciting. I look forward to it, and I do hope that we have a united district where color, religion, background is not as important as who can best represent that district in Washington.
Congressman, did you get an opportunity to speak to President Obama at Barnard College at the commencement speech?
No, there was a separation between all of the public officials. He came in and he went out, but there's so many people that would ask about me and the president, recognizing that this is a primary race, and it would surprise me if the president could have time enough to get involved in any primary races. His concern is the party, his concern is the majority, and I'm flattered that reporters would ask, but I would not embarrass myself and the president to ask him to get involved in this race.
Congressman, the future of the DREAM Act. With a Republican-controlled Congress, what do you see? What are the prospects for it, for passing it?
The prospect should be good if people can just read the statistics and to see what the new America is going to look like. But the Republicans seem that everything that they're doing is against all of the things that America believes in. They're not only attacking fair immigration, they are actually talking about kids that have come here from a foreign country that know no other country, that are educated here, be deported to a foreign country that they don't even know. In other words, the investment that the United States have made in them, they're going to deport to a foreign country. What makes America great and different from so many other countries is that we have people that come here that want to work, that want to make a contribution, and want to be good Americans. In addition to that, we've invited them. You would say, how can you invite them and call them illegal? Well, the truth of the matter is, by law, if a person comes over to your house every day and you give them money and they go back and you don't stop them, that is what you call a constructive invitation. And you know, it takes two for prostitution, it takes two for illegal hiring. These people aren't coming over and being rejected and run after. They're coming over because our people want them to run their farms, their hotels, their restaurants, their landscaping. And so it's all a farce. And soon and very soon, the churches are going to find out that this is just as important as some of the issues they're raising. We are talking about human life. We're not just talking about foreigners that don't look like Anglo-Americans, who, as we see, that number is dwindling. So if the church wants to stay open, they better learn how to speak Spanish and understand the needs in a hurry. And the truth of the matter is that that is true of all American politicians. You can't turn off a community that soon will be the majority.
Congressman, talk a little bit about the debt ceiling fight, which is going to come off again. The Republicans and the Tea Party pushed the president to the limit there, and even businessmen were like, you can't allow us to default for the first time in history. Talk about that debate.
A lot of people don't know, but automatically the Constitution asks for the Congress to give the president the power to borrow money. And that's because of what we would like to have what we call a balance of power between the executive branch. So the president historically has borrowed the money. We authorize them to do it. And we're the ones that authorize what he does with the money. For the first time, Republicans, not to negotiate with the president, but to destroy the president, to bring him down, refused to give him the authority. And the last time, they squeezed out in order for us to make certain that unemployed people would receive compensation. Only that, and the fact that they also wanted rich people to continue to receive unwarranted tax cuts. Then they released and allowed the debt ceiling, which means authority to pay back the money that we have borrowed. Now they pushed it off until this year, and they're threatening now that unless we reduce the deficit some $16 trillion by just cutting spending, cutting jobs, cutting services, and not even going to the very, very wealthy to help to reduce this debt, that they're not going to raise the debt ceiling, and therefore the full faith and credit of the Americans, where most all of the world believe this is the safest place for their money, will be jeopardized. It is sad what they're doing, not just to Obama, but what they're doing to the credit of the United States of America.
Congressman, one of your consultants, Bill Lynch, says put it in the bank. Congressman Rangel wins re-election. Again, do you want to handicap the outcome, Congressman, of the election?
Every election you have to have enthusiasm, you have to hope and want to win. But I tell you this, we had a guy that served in the Congress for a long time from Brooklyn. Most people don't remember. His name was Manny Sella. He was popular. He had campaign money. Everybody loved Manny Sella. And when he lost the primary, we all went to the well. And we said, Manny, what happened? What was your problem? And Manny said, everybody said I had no problem. So there's nothing in the bank. I have served for 40 years. And I truly believe at this time, where the nation is caught up between war and not peace, debt and not jobs, lack of a support for education and health, these are the things I went to Congress for. These are the things that President Obama is pushing for. And I'm the guy that's had the experience and get down there and bring those jobs back to our community. I can't wait to get started with the new Obama with a majority in the House.
Thank you very much, Congressman. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.